Hi, parents. Thanks for coming to see me today. I thought today we could talk about if you are the parent that is working so hard you don't get to see your kids enough lately. And maybe that is a regular thing for you because you work and your spouse is at home taking care of the kids, and your work hours require you away from home a lot, or even cooped up in an office at your house right now, but you're unable to really have really strong connections with your kids due to the coronavirus or just a very busy work schedule. There's a need for both parents to still be really well connected to our kids, strongly connected. And part of that means that you're going to have to try extra hard to make those connections with quality time instead of quantity time. I know that my mom worked until 5:30 every night, and when she got home, she was tired. And she knew the only responsibility she had, because the kids did all the chores, was, and that's what she insisted on. But her big job was to rest a little bit, but then she would be in charge of making dinner and making sure all of our clothes for the next day were ready for us. Like if we had basketball practice or something and something needed to be cleaned or a game coming up, she always helped with the laundry and made sure things were ready for us. But when it came to her big task after work, she was in charge of making dinner. And then us kiddos were in charge of keeping the house relatively clean because, oh my heavens, it's just too hard to do it all, especially if you're a full-time mom working. And then my dad was off to work until 9:30 working for UPS. He was a manager, and so he always was the last one to go home, and man, sometimes I didn't see him. So I came up with a few ideas for the parents that are away a really long time, or you're feeling like you really need to connect with your children. One is you can always, we have these little pads called sticky note pads that are really quite handy for so many things, right? Well, I would like you to use them to connect with your kids, right? A nice little note, preferably in print, so that your child can read them. If you put too much cursive in there, not all the kids can read cursive yet, but just write a little love note and stick it like in the bathroom on the mirror, or hide it on their bed somewhere, or in a shoe because you know that they're going to wear a certain pair of shoes. Hide it, make it fun for them to find. Maybe you are in charge of making the lunches. Maybe a sticky note is a great thing to find in your lunch. But really connect with just a love note now and then. It makes it, I don't know, something about a love note really makes your child really feel your presence as a parent. When they get a love note, I usually save them. The love notes that my students get from their parents at the beginning of a school year, most of the kids keep them in their desk drawer, in the little drawer that I provide. And at the end of the year, I clean out desks and help kids, and they still have those same notes. It is so cute to see how important those love notes are. So you'd be surprised the words you write down become golden to your kids. Another thing you can do if you are the parent that is away for a long period of time, or maybe you go on road trips, is you could both go and purchase a cheap notebook and then have each other write to each other. Maybe one parent gets to take the journal on a road trip, and then your goal is to write every day and talk about things that you love about your kid, and write about things you're proud of, but also share your trip with your child. And then your child could keep the book for the next week, and then she or he writes in it. And then you go back and forth, maybe draw little pictures. But it's another way to connect when you feel like you don't get to see each other. But keeping a journal is great, especially for kids that really don't love writing all that much. If you need to bring a fun way for kids to write, a journal is a great way to do it, because otherwise we don't overcome that hurdle of getting to that point where they love to write. and becoming a writer and just doing the writing for fun, having as many ways as possible is really helpful. When you're back home from your trips or you're home and you know, like maybe your schedule has a Friday off every other Friday, well, it's really important for the parent who's gone quite a bit to connect with each of your children. So maybe do a 45-minute visit to the park with one-on-one time with your child and just really connect and bond with each child that you have. If you have 3 kids, then you're going to have 3 different play dates so that you can connect, because a lot of times when you do the family things, it's all the kids all the time, but something about that extra little connection with your child one-on-one really makes a difference. You'd be really surprised how well they listen to you and respect you when you are making that real close-up connection and you give them all of your attention. And try your hardest during these times not to be on your phone unless you're taking pictures of your child. Don't try to answer texts or emails or anything like that. Give your child your whole attention during these play dates. But if you did 1 a month or 2 or 3 a month, it feels like a lot to you, but for your child, it's exactly what they need to stay grounded and connected to both parents. And I do encourage mommy or daddy, no matter who's home, to also do that. But I'm just trying to especially make sure the kids are connecting with the parent that's away at work the most. But it's helpful for both parents by far. Please, please, please. You can never have too much connection with your kids. And I would also say that if you're in need of that extra connection with your child, come up with a thing that you two do, like all the time. Whether it's watch a certain TV show, or it's take an adventure walk, or it's read a book every night, and the child gets to pick the book, or maybe you sing a certain song, or maybe every Friday you build a fort in the backyard or in your living room. These are things that your child connects you to fun and love and all those feelings that make a kid feel good inside. They know you're there for them because you have this special bond. So get a thing, get something that you and your child do. And if you have 3 kids, you're going to have 3 different things. Just create ways for your child to feel that love on a couple of different levels. And then to bring the family together, now that you've done some of these separate things, I'm really encouraging parents that are going away that when they're back from a trip, to make it so important to come to your family and say, I'm going to commit to sitting down for dinner. If I can't get to the family for a lot of the day, I want to commit to family time at dinner time where everyone is there, all technology is off, no TV in the background, maybe even no music in the background, and just really take the time to listen and connect to your kids. Listen, take turns, make sure whoever is talking, it gets all of the attention of the whole family, and no one talks over that person until they're done. You can ask questions to that child or that mom or dad that's talking, but you don't ever want to talk over them. Let them finish their thought. Make sure everyone at the dinner table gets a chance to say maybe what their favorite part of the day was, or maybe an interesting fact they learned, maybe something funny that happened. And as long as everyone shares and everyone gets a chance to be the speaker and everyone gets a chance to be the listener, that's a really great family bonding time. Dinner time is so special. Or maybe it's breakfast. Somehow you can all manage to get around the table at breakfast. Then go ahead and pick one of those and make sure it's memorable and sweet and it's just every day. Make sure it's an everyday thing. makes a big difference. Okay, that's all I got for you. So write some sticky notes, maybe create a journal with a child so that you can connect and help with writing skills. Plan one-on-one time. Get a thing that you can do with each kid that becomes really special. And then when it comes to bringing the family together, go ahead and have some quality dinner times together, or maybe even breakfast, or both. I'll take both. I hope these are helpful. They might come up again at another time for different uses, but know that all these little things will help you, okay? Good luck being the greatest parent ever. It's a tough job, but you're doing great. Keep it up. Thanks for coming by. Come back and see me.